Welcome back, everyone. If you could please like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. So in this week's video, I'm going to show you 2 ways to get a perfect white background in your photos. And the first one is this setup that I have here. So what I've done is, with the help of my friend Antoine, is set this up. So I have 2 lights that are pointed into these V-flats, and they just have 7-inch reflectors on them, and they're about 4 feet or 1.2 meters off of the ground, and they're shining into the V-flats, and then that light is going to bounce around and come back and hit this white backdrop. Now the key here is that we want our backdrop to be about 2/3 of a stop brighter than the subject's face. So what I'm going to do with my light meter here is I'm just going to go in, and this light meter, a Sekonic L478-DR-UEL, I believe that's the name, if you can believe it or not. I'm going to use it to test the light, and it's also going to allow me to change the power of the light units directly from the meter. So I'm going to shoot today at 400 ISO, so I'll get that dialed in here, and then I'm going to go back to my test. I didn't have the ISO set right. So right now it meters at 4.0 and 9/10. I'm going to push this up 7 times, and that's going to give me 5.6 and 7/10, give or take. I might have to do it a few times. But okay, that's at 5.6 and 7/10. Now I'm going to go ahead and have our model Jordan stand here. He is not going to be able to see the lights that are in the background. Jumping the gun. So he can't see the flashes back there. They're just going to bounce around and light the background, and this is going to make it extremely even. Now we could turn the flashes around and shine them directly on the backdrop, but then it wouldn't be as even. And if you'd like to, I have another video about this topic where I lit a gray backdrop, and you can see sort of how you end up with a weird gradient if you point it at the backdrop versus doing this V-flat method. So Jordan is going to stand here. We're going to light him from the front with a 3rd light, and I'm going to expose him to meter at 5.6 and the background to meter at 5.6 and 2/3. And if you don't have a light meter and you just want to use TTL, you would just make the background plus 2/3 and the face 0. Now, there is one other thing. You could just do this sort of by dead reckoning, if you will. You could just turn the lights up and shoot a bunch of test frames until your background is pure white. That's fine. You just want to make sure that it clips just barely, but if you go too far, you're going to end up with a lot of light bouncing back into the camera, and that's going to cause a fair amount of haze, and it's going to degrade the quality of your images, and that's why you just want to have it bright enough so that it clips and not too bright so that it ends up causing other problems. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll shoot our first test shot now and see how it goes. All right, for this second look, I'm going to create a white backdrop by using this Elinchrom 190 centimeter Indirect Octabox as my background. And then I'm going to light pierce from the front with this Elinchrom 100 centimeter Indirect. No, it's a 100 centimeter deep Octabox. Now the key to doing a shot like this is to not have the background light up too high, just like it was when we were doing our look with Jordan. We wanted to make sure with Jordan that that backdrop was about 2/3 of a stop brighter than their face, and that's exactly what we're going to do with this look with Pierce. We want his face to meter at f8, and we want the background, when metered right here, to meter at f8 and 2/3 or f10 on your camera. The reason for that, once again, is if you go up too high, you're going to blast them out from behind, and it's going to create a haze in the picture. You might run into a haze, though, if you're using a budget filter or a prosumer or consumer lens, or an older lens. Those lenses all tend, and those cheap filters all tend to get a lot of, haze whenever there's a backlit situation. So you want to be cognizant of that. The other thing is, of course, if you've got that light up way too high, you're going to get that haze up as well. And if you have the light too low, all of the wrinkles in this surface are going to be recorded by your camera. So you just want to make sure that it's barely clipping. And again, while you're shooting, it helps if you just check that highlight warning and see that everything is blown out. And as a great bonus, you're going to get 2 edge lights and a hair light, and that's sort of going to give you the look of maybe 3 strip lights and a background light and a main light, all with only 2 sources. It's going to look like maybe you're using 5 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights, 2 background lights, 2 edge lights, a hair light, and a main light. And that's what I love about this setup. It's just very simple, and it gets the job done, and it makes a really good portrait. So anyway, guys, if you have any questions or comments, just leave that below. And as always, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.